Hey everybody, welcome back to another Sunday chat where we just talk about anything and everything, I believe. Let's see who we got in here. Hey Kevin, I saw you first. You're in here. McBean, Teresa, hey Snoopy, Huckleberry, Annette. How are you guys? Hey Coffee first. Deb, how are you? Montana Nana, good to see everybody. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. We'll let people roll in here and everything. So a couple things. I'm gonna go over some articles, but a couple things also. Is for those who were, hey, she's a wildflower. The live that we had last night was a big panel, which can always be hectic over there on Prepper Tribe. He hosted that. I appreciate that. I had a horrific headache. I even sent an apology thing to the guys. Wasn't in my game. I had a horrific headache. My apologies. I was just like, I was fighting to get through it. And the light here on the camera shone at me. It was just piercing. Hey Tiger. So my apologies. I just was not I was just not myself. I can say that I didn't feel very great. But I appreciate all of you that were there and came in, and everybody talked about all their different opinions, which is great. That's what we do. Hey Dove J, Miss Sharon, everything's well. Miss Sharon's here. So we had that. There's a couple things. See if y'all have heard about it, and if you heard more details than what I have on a couple things I'm going to go over. Throw them down the chat. Oh, thank you. Coffee first. I do. Our weather gets crazy, and when those big weather shifts come, I will get like a migraine headache. And which I was fine until like right before it got ready to start. I could feel it coming, and it just was intense. But that just happens, and I had to see it through. But so a couple things. I did see. I don't know how many of y'all saw. There's all these things that go on over there with the bear and everything that he's doing, and we take things. We gather knowledge that they say, how much of it's propaganda, how much of it's real, how much some of this I think is flexing on his part. And, but we don't let things like that scare or consume us. So there was hey Steve, W. In case I miss anyone. Hey Teresa. So, the Northern Fleet again, which is the armed nuke, the ships and subs, all those were deployed into the Baltic Sea. And then there was a thing about the bear. He engaged a GPS jamming around all of the nuclear weapon facilities, missile, and storage facilities. I don't know a whole bunch on it. I just saw this thing today had come out that has been going on. They all kind of do those. Is this a flex type thing? I don't know. And, I also read that sometimes that this jamming stuff isn't completely unusual for when they have these type of conflicts are kind of building up. I don't know. But I saw about that. I'm sorry, I'm getting caught in the chat. So I was reading about the water. I hope everyone is awake or keeps on waking up or does what they have, because and even everything that went up in Ohio. I hope that's eye-opening. Speaking of Ohio, this came out on the 25th. I saw it this morning. Another Norfolk Southern freight train derailed in Lexington, North Carolina on Saturday morning. It said there was 132 cars were with that train. And in quotations, it says, "We appreciate the public's patience and care near this area during the cleanup work. It is a developing story. I didn't see anything else on what it was carrying, what happened. It wasn't something so severe as what happened up in Ohio, but here we are, another. And I know derailments happen. I know things happen, but the pattern in this day and age and everything we see going on, you keep an eye on things. So I don't know much else. If anyone else heard anything else about that one, let me, put it down in there. But it was in Lexington, North Carolina on Saturday morning. So let's make sure I'm not missing anything before I move on. Yeah, I'm always worried about water in many different ways because of what we've seen going on, things in the sky. Okay, if any entity ever wanted to get a large amount of people, they could go through water and the air, especially because, especially so many things that are odorless and tasteless. No, I only do things I have not tried. I don't. It's a type of genetic thing I have. I have EDS that happens. I'm very sensitive to barometric pressure, and I have to regulate the pressure is what causes that. But yes, all caps for me. Make sure I don't miss anybody before I keep moving forward. Okay, so there was another thing. This was going on. PEMEX, PEMEX. There were three fires erupt in 3 of their different locations, all on the same day: Texas and Mexico. They're oil facilities, same company. Like I said, they had fires at their oil facilities. 8 injured. There's 5 missing. 1 was confirmed that they had perished. The one in Mexico, there was 5 injured. All of the fires have been put out, but there is no cause. There has not been nothing's been determined yet about what has caused those fires. But the same company at 3 different locations all caught on fire on the same day. Don't get me started on, okay, when they may never tell what confirmed what happened, but that was something I saw this morning as well. I don't remember even where exactly it was in Texas, but it was 2 in Texas and 1 in Mexico. Pemex is what the company is. So let me see what everyone has got going on in here. Yeah, all the water, so many waters, even where I live, so many waters everywhere. They're polluted. They've been polluting these waters for so long, and then we have these acute things like what happened in Ohio. They've been doing these things, which I think has just been long building. They pollute many different things, all kinds of stuff. So we'll see. Okay, open Akbar. Oh, you've been doing elderberry. Did you plant yours, or were they already native wild right there? Yeah. As far as like different water things, actually, Snoopy and I have talked about this before, is when you have empty water containers, say you had bottled water or gallon-sized water or however you got it, is refill those with tap water and put away somewhere for your gray water, for washing up something, flushing toilets, anything like that. Because you realize how much water you go through for even things. It's like, this is wasteful water. It's that gray water that you have to use. You don't want to use your good drinking water for that. Hey, Papa Storm, how are you? Hey, Seabass, you made it live. Ooh, stuffed peppers. I haven't had those in a long time. Oh, you planted the Oh, okay. Oh no, nothing grows native. We have a lot of good native. Well, probably because. Hey, Rescue, how are you? Oh yeah, I gotta get that coop done. Yeah, Snoopy, we talk water, don't we? But yeah, do those simple little tricks that you don't think about. Yeah, you would be amazed. Yes, on the gray water, like I said, how much you use. Even if you have rain collection type of stuff, and we talk about rainwater, the concerns about rainwater, because we talk about the evaporation, things come down, things are sprayed. We do. And yes, there's processes you can do to take that. We know how it goes, but even your rain collection water, just for your gray water use, we just take for granted because we turn the faucet on and we don't think about it. We don't see a volume of it if it's just running, much, but do that. Hey, McBean, how are you? Yeah, fill in your gaps, always water, and you have to have water. You have to have clean, safe water no matter what. That's such a big thing. Yeah, I think that it is the 5 gallons. Um, and that adds up quick. And the thing is, it is true. Water it's hard to store. It takes up so much room, right? I mean, you can't vacuum seal that or put it up or anything. It does take a lot of room, but it's one of those things you have to make room for, and you have to put up with, oh, it's just taking up the space. I got to deal with it because if we go without water, and that's what my thing I go about. And again, like anything, do what's best for you, what you're comfortable with, what you need, what at the cost thing. I don't do a ton of like the dehydrated food thing. Like I dehydrate my food, but a lot of the made packs of that, it takes so much water to rehydrate that. It takes a lot. And I'm not saying don't have it. I'm just saying don't only rely on that, because even say you have canned goods, you can utilize the water that is in the fluid that is in your canned goods. If you have a can of green beans, you're not going to dehydrate if you can even just drink the water that comes out of that. At least you know it's safe. And so, just all those things you got to take into consideration. Let's see what everyone's got. Yeah, I mean, water is just the weight of water, the way it takes up. It's just. What do we see? Well, yeah, there are things you can find out where your location, there are websites and different things you can go to see where your Huckleberry may know if you do put it down there, information for them to find it. You can kind of find out where, if that's what you're asking, where your water source aquifer comes from. Exactly. Don't come and when it's my time, right? I know. And all the things I said, it'll come, it's never when it's convenient for us. Nothing is natural disasters, anything, least convenient timing, or, different things we talk about with the bank, or, or even accidents, or someone gets sick or something. It's always like, it's in at night, Friday night, or it's on the weekend, right? That's how it goes. Let's see. Coffee first. If you figure out how to dehydrate water, you let me know. Hey, Kim. I'm sorry if I'm seeing all you. If I'm not saying hey to you, I do see you. I appreciate all of you being here. Yeah, I do. No, I do. Y'all have seen me before back here on this table behind me. I'll put my dehydrator, and if it's stuff I can't can, or to save up space, or so something doesn't turn and go bad, I will dehydrate it. Stuff out of the garden, bags of potatoes, I do that, and I use them, and they last a long time, and they store very well. I just make sure I have a mixture, because of how much water it does take to rehydrate a lot of those things. Oh yeah, that cayenne pepper salve works well. Triple antibiotics, you can do all those. You can do all those yourself. They work very well. Let's see. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Alabama Whitman. How are you? From the UK. That's wonderful. Hey, Mary. Gunnerman, hey. Hey, Colleen. Yeah, Snoopy, that cayenne pepper salve, it works well. Joint pain, all those type of things, it works really well. Just, don't get it in any of your mucous membranes. But I have a thing going right now that I'm infusing some oil with cayenne pepper, which is ready, and I need to strain that and make my salve from it. It works really well. And a lot of your salves, different types of salves, depending on what it is, they can keep. You can, especially depending on where you are. If you live somewhere, it's like a more hot, humid, climates, anything like that can turn differently. As you keep them in your refrigerator, and they can keep longer. But oh, you need directions? I made a video. I made a cayenne. If that's what you're talking about, in case I've missed something in chat, I have a cayenne pepper salve video. It's the one I make. If that's what you're talking about. Is JR in the house? Did I miss him sneaking in here? Hey, JR. Let's see. Hey, Kid Coleman. Yeah, Snoopy, it's not that far. It's not real far back. I probably did it this summer. Wonderful. For Deb, yes, Epsom salt is one of the biggest things for detoxing. I recommend people always use plain Epsom salt, not the Epsom salts that are scented with different things. But yeah, when I've talked before about how I went through Lyme treatment. I would take probably 2 Epsom salt baths a day, detox baths from that to get that out. And I would do that because it'll draw that stuff out. Just make sure you stay very hydrated. And I also recommend, because you have to have it pretty warm to open up your pores and your lymph node, everything to drain out, is have some type of fluids. Lemon water is fantastic for detoxing as well. And, make sure you're drinking when you're in there. Hey, KP. Hey, Poppy. I mean, I've had some salves that I've had for a year, and then I have some that are, 6 months. It depends. You'll smell it because it's made with an infused oil. If it goes rancid, you will smell it. And that's the biggest thing. You don't have to worry as much topically as you do if it was something you would take an internal. But I have salves I've had for over a year that they're in there and they're just fine. They'll keep longer. It's the heat and moisture that can mess those things up. So you have a good while. Hey, Dusty Country Road, how are you? Yes, if y'all did not see, we had our very first live on the Liberty Tree Fellowship today. Big praises to JR. He's been doing the things and getting this, all of us. But we had that today. If you haven't seen it, go over there and check it out over on Liberty Tree Fellowship. So we're able to do lives, and it has live chat, and we're still working out the kinks and getting used to it ourselves because it's different than doing it here on YouTube. But go over there and check it out. We had the first one today about noon. Let's see. Why? Oh, well, yes and no. It depends on why you were said not to do diabetics. Sometimes doctors use that to help diabetics, especially if they have something that needs to be healing. It just really depends on the situation. Like, yeah, the oil, it always depends on what I always use, because I'm allergic to avocado, so I don't use avocado oil. I use extra virgin olive oil, or I use coconut oil in mine. And that, I really don't have an issue. I've never had anything that has lasted so long that it ran, rancid. Hey, Michael G, I'm glad you're here. That's okay if you're late. If you're diabetic and your doctor or anybody said not to, I've seen it used both ways. It depends on, on what. Do things safely. Hey, the prepping artist. Yeah. I'm reading some of these things. Oh, thank you, Yankee Watchdog. Yeah. I know we're just throwing out all the things we haven't been able to say over here. There wasn't enough time. And that is how it's going to be, because there's that freedom to get things out. And I say on my end is I just want to help people. And then my hands get tied over here. And that's all I'm trying to do, is we can freely get a lot of that done. The notification, maybe JR's answered you. There's a newsletter that comes out that will let you know about the stuff. Josh, hey, how are you, Josh? I'm glad you made it. I know you're busy all the time. Josh is in the house. The fam's in the house. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Michael. I love you guys, truly. I appreciate all of you. Hey, Joni, how are you? Good to see you too. Yeah, that's always, I mean, that's like anything. More older school doctors, they went the route I do. You do things natural, support the body. The body knows what to do. And other things were last minute, but we won't get into all why that changed and what's going on. But yes, you're correct. Most of them will. Oh, so anyone that wants to know, here's JR answering you. If I can click, here it is. So the email notifications will come through. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, I have to go watch Tiger how she does all her different cheese. I will stop by and see how y'all are doing it and take my notes. No, I am not actually allowed to talk about I'm not allowed to talk about that here. I'm going to have to do it there is JR and I talked it's over there now. It's over on the website. We talked about this. We talked about those type of wells, and I talked about the transport. They're transporting stuff from Ohio to Texas with this. If you have not heard about it or seen it, please go over there. It's the last video JR and I did together. You're going to want to hear what they're doing with that. But no, I can't talk about it on here. I can put it up like that, but that's about it. Oh, thank you, Michael. I appreciate your kind words. You're always so supportive. Yeah, Tiger, you got to read those emails. That old school. Pop B does a lot. He does blogs and stuff over there. Got to read those too. Oh, so this is the one. Thank you, JR. That is the one. We talk about that. And if you don't know anything about those type of wells, you're going to need to research into that and see what we're talking about and what they're doing with everything that went on in Ohio and what they're doing with those things concerning that. Yeah, Pop B's blogs are awesome. So, and I didn't know about these Pemex, these oil facilities. Has anyone in Texas or near there? Oh, Deb, you're in Texas. How about that? Yes. So that I'll leave that right there. That stuff that's up in Ohio, they're trucking that down there and doing that. What could possibly go wrong? Because I'm just expecting a oops on the way and a spill on the way, and those type of wells, there's many of them, and there's plenty a lot closer. That's all I'll say. And I think the whole thing any of those are concerning, but where they're going with it is alarming to me. But so I was about to say, anyone in Texas, have you heard anything different about those fires at those oil facilities, the Pemex oil facilities down there? Because I just saw that. Okay, so have y'all heard, or is that kind of a hush? Is on main? Are they announcing that? Because 3 of them in 3 different locations, one of them in Mexico, in the same day is, and they're like, oh, we don't know what's going on. We don't know. We haven't, heard it. If you have, please put it down. Hey, Roots, how are you? Good to see you. Okay, Bobby, I'll see you later. Have a good day. Well, I mean, that's closer, but the whole thing is, it's a mess. That's all I'll say. Yeah, I see a lot of y'all are in Texas. Of course, absolutely. People, I mean, I do know natural things happen, natural fires happen. There's different, but I always talk about, I said, look at the clusters, the way they go, and it's a whole bunch of these. Now that dies out. Oh, there's a whole bunch of these things happening there, and they're not going to convince me either. I'm with you. I just have to be careful how I present that on here, or it'll be strike. Hey, Southern Mimi, I'm glad you're here. I mean, they already had their own thing in Detroit with the, stuff that went on. I heard of one of the yes, I heard that. It's two in Texas, one in Mexico, but I mean, there was some, injuries and casualties, and there's still some people missing, but I don't know. It's just suspicious that same company, 3 different locations in one day. Give me a break. Make it believable. Okay. That's what my thing is about all this. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, through the summer and everything, I don't know. Yeah. He'll put it up there for me. A lot of that. And that's why I say, do your own research. Even like when I give you things or anything, doesn't matter if where the source is, who the creator is, everything. It's like here, I'm just kind of giving you these seeds, and I need you to look deeper into it as well. Not a simple Google search, especially like we say, when they're trying to downplay or hush, or, it's not being shoved in your face. Those are the things that you need to take a deep dive into when it's, how we filter what's distractions and what is they have agenda behind these things. Yes. Again, like this, haven't heard anything. Yeah, I have a lot of subs that were getting up with me, say, I live right here. I live in less than an hour of this, and I didn't know for 5 days. I mean, imagine that, Michael. Truth, just the truth speakers, right? Oh yeah, of every sort, of the food, of the poultry, it just put it on the list. I might say all the time, I could make a scroll of this nonsense that they've done. I agree. Do something nice for someone every day. Find positive every day, no matter what's going on. I say that all the time. Yeah. True. Very true. And they know what they're doing. And it's the breakdown and the overwhelming. Hey, Virginia, I clicked on the one, but hey, Roots. Hey, Tammy. But I just think, and we said even last year, I was saying, I was like, there's so much that they're kind of predicting that's in their playbooks and everything that are supposed to kind of come to pass within the first half of 2023, and that spring and summertime, there's a lot that is kind of written out in their little things. I was always kind of looking to that was going to come about. Let's see. Hydraulic fluid spill in the little Sugar Creek. Was this just recently? Has this been in since the same Ohio kind of time frame when all these other things were going on? Is that the one you're talking about? I knew there was one in Sugar Creek, but there was also one a while back in Sugar Creek. So is it something more recent or the one that was a good bit back? Hey, Country Nana. And if I've missed you, I am sorry. I'm glad. I'm so appreciative of all of you here. I truly am. But there's tons. We went through that list before. It was just, check off the list, check. But then some of them, it wasn't like a complete loss or like it's something as big as what happened in Ohio. But then it was like there were so many of them, but they didn't really make sense. Like the one that was in Florida, it was like I think it was like a plastic warehouse type of, facility or whatever. Like some of that isn't, unless it's just the releasing of chemicals, unless it's like they're doing something during that time and covering it as, it's this. I don't know. I don't know. Thank you, Southern Mimi. Oh yeah. It's always anything that is so you're not self-sufficient. Anything so, eat the bugs, right? Oh, okay, Snoopy. I'm sorry. You know how to get up with me. Get up with me if there's anything I can help you with. Hey, Sergeant Deacon, how are you? Hey, T-Ball. That's okay. There's a couple that's been late. That's fine. Hey, Peanut Prepper. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I don't know. So I know some of the time doesn't always work great for everyone. It's hard to find a time that works for just everyone. This is kind of that, that slow paced day is usually on Sundays. And so I try to do that. Let's see what he's saying here. Oh, yeah. We had, you remember, was it last summer? And they said, oh, they're just dehydrating. They're all dying. They're all dying. Yeah. That's not how those, it looked like a mass all at one time to me. But they always, well, like I said, they've been doing all these things for a long time. See, that is my thought process on that, but I'm glad you wrote it because I cannot say that. Mm-hmm. And if you watch where they do a lot of these things, like we talked about in Ohio and in Pennsylvania, these big farmlands, these nicer farmlands, the Amish communities, the more self-sufficient, the rural areas and everything, they're going to go there because they want to. Always say it all the time. They want to push everyone to certain areas into these cities. You won't have the land and the resources around you, and they can control people. Mine too, for a lot of different things. Mine does. I have that heavy heart of, but that's kind of my personality. Can't save them all, can't fix everything, but I do have that. Sometimes I have this sense of urgency, this racing against time. Like I need to get as much information out as I can and help how I can, or my hands are so tied over here. And then I was so grateful I had the Liberty Tree Fellowship, because I could get more things out that I couldn't hear. And I do. I eventually, I don't know when, but we all know it's coming. This is going to be stripped away, because they're going to show that they're going to take that away. And I'm trying to help and get as much out as I can to help everyone. So that's why I tell, please get hard copies, print things, write it down, because you're going to need it. Simple things can be a major thing in shift. They just can. Michael, our potatoes last year. I have a potato tower this year. I've put it on one of my little video things we've started up, but my potatoes, nothing. I didn't get nothing for my potatoes last year. I don't know. And neither did like some of my squash and my cucumbers. There were certain things that they just didn't do anything. Tons of different peppers and stuff like that, tomatoes, but I don't know what it is. It goes in those seasons like that. Yeah. I think that's the start of what they're doing, the stuff we see in Ohio. Because I'm sorry, and this is, I'll say this is my opinion, but look into it, and I can't see other way. All that land and stuff, they're not going to be able to plant and utilize any of that safely to grow their own, even small garden. I'm talking about even in their yards, growing gardens are different things. For decades, many generations, I just don't think they're going to be able to get that out. Thanks, Carmen. I try. God set me on this path. I'm trying to do my part while I can. Yeah. Hey, Jessica, in case I missed you. Yeah, we were talking about that. They're in Texas. They're taking those into certain type of wells and putting that in there. Let's see. They do have certain antidotes for themselves as far as, we'll say, viral loads and different things like that, things they can be exposed to, but they're so well set. They have whole, their bunkers and underground like cities of their own, which they utilizing it. They are set more than a fraction of what we can imagine. They're okay. They're going to have all that. And I'm sure they have certain areas they have it where they could have massive, greenhouses that they don't touch those areas. Hey, Bobo, how are you? Yeah, see, Montana Nana with the potatoes. A lot of people are talking. Other creators, even people I've talked about. There's so many people that said the potatoes didn't do. I don't know what that's about. A container potatoes, the towers in the ground. People just were last year. We're not getting them. Because you can actually sustain yourself off of living on potatoes if you add real butter to it. I'm not saying you're going to be the healthiest, but the nutrients and stuff in there, you can sustain yourself. And that, look at history. Dare I say, things that went across in Europe during World War II. I'm not saying it was healthy or, they were well off enough, but potatoes are used for a lot of things like that, for survival foods and different throughout history. Oh, we our hydroponics didn't do well. It didn't do well. I hit anytime. I haven't seen him in here. Darren Mayhem Country Living. He just does all kinds of stuff with hydroponics also. Yeah, I do always say, if there's things like you have mini greenhouses or grow lights or anything like that, if there are things that you can grow indoor all year long just to make sure you're covered. God forbid something happened in your area, then I recommend having some amount in your house for you. It's medical herbs. You can have stuff outside too. Do 2 batches. Have something in the house. Put it near a window. Grow lights. Whatever. Just to have it on hand. Just a safety measure. Just take those extra steps now. Oh, thanks, Southern Maybe. I'm glad you were there. Yeah, this is Michael. We talk about that. I talk about staying level-headed, and you can't let something consume you that would inflict. Because when we get fearful and everything, we get irrational, and all those things can snowball from there. I mean, we do what we can, and I mean, I am of strong faith. My saying is, we do our part, we do what we can, and we leave the rest to God. And there is a certain point, whether you have faith or not, you do your part. And then there's so much that is out of our hands, but you cannot control what is out of our hands. You can't do anything about that. And so knowledge is power. We do what we can, and then we have to that's why I don't know, I have faith. So I have that comfort for that. Yeah, that's exactly why they're doing a lot of that. For us, because they're not eating that, I guarantee you. Hey, Gmail Nana, is it buffering on your end, or am I having issues? I mean, it looks fine on my end from StreamYard, but I'm through StreamYard, not. I'm not on YouTube. Exactly. It won't affect those or the little pod babies that they're. Oh my gosh. See, hands tied over here. I can't say so much. Of course. I put up a thing. It may be in my community tab. It was a while back, several weeks ago, and it was truck drivers, full trucks that it's like, say it was all Kraft, like the brand Kraft or something. I'm using an example. They would just be like, no, none of this goes to the stores. It goes, and it was showing these underground places, and it was massive. It was so massive. It was beyond. I mean, we think about it. Oh yeah, we are aware they have these, but until you saw it, it was massive, and they were whole trucks. Like, that's where a lot of shortages. They were not, because they're stockpiling that stuff. Let's go ahead and give a Beaverine shout out. That's a good idea. I'm all about utilizing things you can get a hold of in your community. Speaking of communities, everything, that was a big thing coming up. I think it's just Josh still in here. We're going to do a little something and kind of go a little deeper on some things. We were discussing about all that. And we all have differences, what we're comfortable and what we want to do. And depends on your area. And, are you rural? Are you in a city? You're in the suburbs? We're going to go into some of that. You love taters. See, roots, I did mine in 5-gallon buckets with the holes drilled in the bottom. And I did grow bags as well. And usually potatoes are those things, it's like you just throw it in the ground, forget it, and it just happens. Nothing. I'm talking about not even one. I don't know. And I've been hearing that. Yes, eat the skins of your potatoes. They're full of iron. They're full of minerals and vitamins we need. Just cook them up. Don't eat green potatoes. That's very dangerous. Don't eat green. You got, if there's green on it, you got to get all the green off of it before you eat it. It can make you very, very sick. Yes, exactly, Bruce. I say that all the time. I encourage people all the time. Get whatever your region, your location is get foraging, get books, or start printing it off from online for your area, because a lot of things I talk about, they're not going to be in the Midwest or something like that, different places. But and get something. I always recommend something that's got good colored pictures, very good descriptions, and with that, it's going to list if it has a lookalike, a dangerous lookalike, because a lot of them do, and there can be just one little thing, and that can be very serious very quick if like, oh, it looks like it. Yeah, there can be something different in the leaf pattern, the sappy stuff that's in the stem of or anything that can be your indication. Majority, except for when it comes to dandelion, if it has a milky sap, of whatever, and you see that, leave it alone. Majority of the time, dandelion's an exception. That is something that's poisonous. So that can be a quick tell for things. If you see something looks like, breaking the stem and see what the sappy stuff looks like. Yeah, I have my sweet potato slips starting in my greenhouse over here. Yeah. Go ahead and bend away up there because I can't say any of it. Hey, Auntie, Jack, how are you? I agree, Jessica. All of us, we're going to need it. Things are coming. Yeah, I mean, I have an indoor greenhouse, so it's these soft kind of cover ones. I love my seeds starting in that, and then certain ones, like I grow things indoor, like herbs or different things that I keep in there. But outdoor, different things. I've heard a lot about doing old windows, like somebody had mentioned. I'm sorry, I forgot who you were, but that was a great idea. You can ask around. I mean, there's certain things, if it's like, the contracting things or local dumps, there may be different things you can get stuff in. It'd be perfectly fine to use. Oh, let's see what Teapot said. Yes, that's a big thing. Thank you for, do all the thumbs up, YouTube stuff. I appreciate it. It helps me. It helps this nonsense. So I have to deal with the algorithm and the shadow ban. It's just, it really, it does help me. Hey, Everyday Survival. How are you? If I didn't see you. Yeah, I constantly, every single day with my children, everything, I pray for a hedge protection over each one of us, body, mind, spirit, from any harm, injuries, or illnesses. I pray for a protection over my home, over my land, over my animals, over my garden, every single day, because so much is out of my control. I have to trust God to keep me safe and protect all these things. I do all that. Of course, yard dog, they're always doing that. With so many different things, with the water, with the soil, with medical stuff across the board. They always, oh, just change it. It's fine. Like I did the whole thing about the forever chemical. I can't say too much on here. They're not going to monitor that anymore. Hey, Ashley, how are you? Okay, no buffering. Thanks. Well, Michael, that'd be just fine if I have an abundance of potatoes. Yeah, all of this is, to me, is we're watching, on faith. This is biblical. And that's why a lot of the things we're seeing, wars and rumors of wars, it's biblical. A lot of these things, they're going to have to come to pass because the good book says it is. Nothing and nobody, no politician, nothing is going to stop it. That doesn't mean, and I say this all the time, it doesn't mean I want to suffer in the meantime. We do what we can, but these things are going to come to pass. Excellent, Ruth. Yeah, Craigslist. There's in some of your areas, I don't know if you have it. There's this thing, it's called, I don't know if it's like pay for nothing or sometimes I think they have them on like Facebook, because I had a relative that was telling me something about it, and it's like groups in your thing, and it's just kind of like, there's nothing wrong with this. I'm getting rid of it. It's kind of free to go. They have these groups. If you can think of what it's called, drop it down there. I don't know if it's like pay for nothing or something like that, but they say they're on Facebook, and there are these groups in your local areas. Not every place has them. And I have a family member. They're like, they get all kinds of stuff, good stuff. People like they're moving, or it's like, hey, I just need to get rid of this, or whatever, or they'll do trades of something on there. I cannot think of what it's called, but those are good places to look for things like that. No, no, not that Josh. Not Pot B Josh. Just Josh. Just Josh. Not, I call Josh, just Josh. I call Pot B Josh, Pot B, because I don't get them mixed up. But I appreciate it. Hey, Carrie, I'm glad you're here. It's okay if you're late. Join the Liberty Tree. There's a free thing. There's so much free content, and you get the newsletter, you get the things. Just sign up. All you have to do is have your email. And it's not spammy. JR doesn't send out spammy stuff. It's not like that at all. Please just sign up, because one day if they snatch the rug from underneath this on me, then I can have somewhere to get up with people. Yeah, if those potatoes are sitting out too long, the way it works, you can't eat green potatoes though. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, it has the way the chemical changes in it. See, Bessie, my potatoes did not do good in my book. I mean, nothing. I don't know, because I don't use one. I don't know, but if I find, I will email. I will let you know. I haven't looked for an app, a phone app that it needs. I don't know. I would, if anyone in here knows, I'm always funny. Trusting something of that manner to keep my best safety, and especially if it's something you're going to consume. Have another source to double check it with. And that's why I always talk about with foraging is make sure you may know, this particular plant backwards and forwards, but you also better know its lookalikes backwards and forwards as well. That's just safety. Yeah, do all those things. Make notebooks, make little card things. Little small ones like that are perfect for your go bags to have out. Goodness. 16 below. My blood's too thin for that. I don't know what to do with myself. Yeah, be specific. God tells us to call it. You say, I don't know how far behind I am. But yeah, He's just waiting for us to, always say He wants us to hand it over to Him. Know that we trust Him. We're giving this to Him. Because, there's so much of these things in the world that are going on or in our regular lives, besides this worldly stuff that's going on. It was never meant for us to carry that weight. And I'm not saying that lightly, that, it wasn't ours to carry. And we are human in our flesh, and our nature is like, no, I need to take care of this and figure it out. Now, some things, we have to do for ourselves. So keep that balance. But, Free Cycle. Oh, Miss Sharon and Snoopy. Free Cycle. I don't know. I don't think it's called that, but that is one of them. If I find it, I'll put it in my community tab as well. I'll have to ask my family member what it is. I can't remember what it's called, but it's not. I know what there's about Free Cycle, but I can't remember what, I can't remember. No, it's not Facebook Marketplace. It is actually groups, and they have them in your area. I shouldn't have said anything unless I knew what it was. I cannot think of it. Yeah, I believe government, because these phones are going to go out too. You're not gonna be able to get on it. But I understand having something convenient. Just have more than one source. Always have hard copies of ways for things. But is there anything else before I'm coming up on about an hour? Anything else y'all want to talk about or drop in or things going on? Please let me know. I will remember when I go to bed. I usually remember things that's how it goes, or something I need to go do, or I have forgot all day. That's how it works. Not freesteading. I think it's called like buy nothing, or it's something like that. I can't remember. I'm so sorry, guys. I will. When I find it, I'll put it on there. But I know it goes through, they say it goes through Facebook. And I'm not saying, and they don't have it in all areas, but it should be. I'll find out what it is. So, okay, guys. So if there's anything else, I appreciate all of you. As always, on my Sunday chats, it's just so laid back. I enjoy chatting with you guys. But I'm gonna wrap it up because I've got to go cook. That's what I do. I cook, I clean, and then it's time to cook again. Yes, everyone stay safe. Oops, wrong one. That's how my chat is starting to do that again. It hasn't been where it's freezing and then jumping up. Everyone stay safe. God bless. Keep doing your things. I think it is called I think it's called, Colleen, I think it's called Buy Nothing or something like that. I think that's what it's called. That sounds familiar. I think it's called Buy Nothing. But we'll figure it out. Find the free stuff, the cheap stuff people getting rid of that don't, maybe they're not as like-minded or they're moving or whatever. People throwing things out. You'd be amazed at what people throw out that you can utilize for, your prepstead type things. So I will leave that with you guys. Everyone, I hope you have a wonderful week. Stay safe. Keep doing the things, and I will see you next time.